And then that's when it hit me that hustle without alignment is just noise. Hmm. You might be doing a lot, but not in a powerful way, not in a purposeful way, but in a way that kind of feels like scattered, off-centered, and draining. I'm actually talking about myself right now because I woke up like that. I'm like, yo, this has been a crazy month. We're doing so much, but for some reason, I don't feel like proud of the way I've been doing it in a way. At some point, you will start to feel it. It's not going to hit you all at once, not with a bang, but you will feel this heaviness over time because you're not moving or creating from joy, but you're constantly reacting to pressure, like you're trying to keep up, you're trying to prove something. You're trying to run a race that you don't even remember signing up for. I don't know about you, but before I came to this planet, I'm pretty sure when I chose my life mission, I'm pretty sure I wrote down, I will not be in a race. So why do we find ourselves in this constant chase? It's like subtle at first as well, but eventually we will realize that we've been moving a little bit too much from fear and not clarity. Now, clarity is beautiful. Clarity feels like a deep breath. Right. Clarity feels like a release. You understand? Clarity feels clear, knowing we're moving in the direction that matters. And we get to craft clarity, I believe, every single day. If we take time for ourselves, center ourselves, and remember who we are, why we are doing what we are doing, and clarify that the destination is just in this next step. In a world that glorifies the grind, it's just so easy to think that exhaustion is like a badge. Like, what are you doing? I'm busy. I've been working. Oh, I'm so tired. My body hurts. It's like, that's not a flex anymore. You know what I'm saying? The busyness is not proof that you are worthy or you are valid. You don't need to hustle harder, my friend. You need to simplify. And I believe we all need to come back to ourselves just a little bit. We don't need another planner. We don't need another 5 a.m. motivational clip, another to-do list, that is like stacked to the ceiling. I don't know about y'all, but like sometimes those to-do lists be hitting a little bit too much. But what you need to do is come back to truly what matters. Not what the world told you what matters. Not what success looks like on somebody else's timeline. Because somebody else's happiness, the way they live their life, that could be the source of your depression if you were living their life. So we have to figure out what really matters to you. And that's where your peace lives. And to find it, we have to be willing, I believe, to let go. Just let go. Let go of the distractions. Let go of the performance. Let go of the addiction to doing just for the sake of doing or feeling worthy or feeling like you're a part of the race. Like, we are humans that are being, not humans that are doing. Your true power isn't found in how much you carry all the time, but it's found in how light you're willing to travel. I remember when I was in my own little storm and, everything on paper looked beautiful, absolutely beautiful. People were like, you're doing great, you're crushing it. Even like, with my channel, the views were just raking in, the brands were reaching out. But something in me still kind of felt off. Like, I was tired even when I slept, a little bit disconnected even though everything was working out. And then I soon realized, you understand, because we're constantly in reflection. We're great observers over here. You are a great observer. Take time to reset and reflect every single day. But I realized that I was living in reaction, always reacting to deadlines, expectations, to the noise. Let me say that again. I realized I was constantly reacting to deadlines, expectations, and to the noise. Do you feel me? I feel like you feel me. You've been there. Maybe you're there right now. And I was showing up, but not really as present as I would like to be. I was working, but was I in creation? Was I getting lost in the process? Or did I always have a deadline, a ticket to publish? And then that's when it hit me that hustle without alignment is just noise. Yeah, the hustle can bring results, but at the end of the day, what matters most is how you feel within here. And if that's clear, if that's calm, if there's clarity there. I was talking to someone the other day, we were just having dinner, and they're talking about someone they know, and this person has like 100, 200 million, like filthy rich. But he's like, yo, a couple of these people I know like that, he's like, they're on antidepressants, they're like have so many vices, there's so much noise, I don't even have time to enjoy. They have these big houses, but like can't even reach all the rooms in the homes. They have a big home, but they're not even at home, And I realized in that season that I didn't need to do more. I needed to feel more, to go deeper into life. Maybe even move slower, right? Maybe you need to simplify, because simplifying isn't really a downgrade. It's a spiritual practice. Simplicity doesn't mean that you're doing less. It really just means that you're doing what matters, right? You're not trying to be everywhere and be everything for everybody. No. It means your energy is focused. It means your breath is steady. Your heart is open. And your eyes are sharp on the prize. You understand? This world will try to convince you that if you're not struggling, you're not doing enough. Some people look at peace like it's a sign of laziness. Like, look at that person. They're not doing enough, but really they don't know what you're doing. In reality, it's a sign of alignment, When you simplify, you create room for creativity to flow, room for rest to return, room for your spirit to speak, room for yourself to just take the lead again. What would that feel like for you to just feel confident in the direction that matters? I want you to visualize that right now. To take the lead again on your own life, to grab the steering wheel and be like, this is my life, you understand? My timeline, my tempo, my rhythm, my happiness. Nobody gets to determine your happiness but you. It doesn't matter how many templates and blueprints have been out there. You get to define your life. You get to design your life. Because when your life is full of clutter, there's no space for the miracles and the magic to land. You understand? For that magic to find us. When the dots in life just seemingly connect, and you're like, how did that happen? It's because you created space for it. And the big part of that shift for me was just building from the ground up again, redesigning my foundation, rebuilding my systems to match my spirit. That meant no more chaos in my calendar. There was a season in my life where every hour was just stacked. I was just trying to do the most. We don't need to do more. We need to simplify. And that's where acuity scheduling came in, our sponsor of the day. I needed something smooth, something that let me set boundaries with love, with precision, simplify how I want to connect with clients, with brands, with collaborators, even friends. And I set the times that work for me. And acuity scheduling handles the rest. No back and forth, no confusion, no energy leaks. It's easy to use for clients to self-schedule, cancel, and rebook, so no pointless DMs. And you can customize your online booking page with your brand colors, fonts, and logo, making sure everything is cohesive. It feels calm, clean, and professional, making it easy to get paid with secure tools. Acuity scheduling integrates with Square, Stripe, and PayPal. Plus, you can create custom invoices that match your brand. So if you're somebody who offers sessions, takes bookings, or just wants to stop living inside your inbox, acuity scheduling can help you breathe again. Because it's not just a scheduling tool, it's a peacekeeping system. You'll find the link below. Give yourself that gift of simplicity. Head to acuityscheduling.com/Hindz for a free trial. And when you are ready to launch, use my offer code HINDZS20 to save 20% off your first Acuity scheduling purchase. We think we need motivation, but really we just need space. That's why, I designed the reminder deck, my own deck of cards. And I didn't call it affirmations. I didn't call it, like my wisdom or anything like that. I said it's the reminder deck because you have the answers already within you. They're just reminders, all of us. You have the tools that you need to succeed. And sometimes it's not motivation from somebody else. Sometimes you don't even need to hear nothing from me. All I do is re-trigger that truth within you. Because when you have space, what happens? The answer arrives. Your intuition has room to whisper. Your body has space to rest. And then your life becomes less about survival, but I think it becomes more about service, And when I say service, I don't mean self-sacrifice, even though we should be in service. But I mean service to your calling, service to your people, right? Service to your mission, your belief. You can't serve deeply when you are scattered. And some of us have a very scattered mind these days. You can't create from overflow if you never stop to refill, to pour back in. And that's why I keep coming back to this truth. Simplify to amplify. Create space to hear so we can make room for what really matters. Because especially in this era where we have all the information at our fingertips, everything that we need to succeed plus more, it's very easy to overwhelm ourselves, right? And be running in 50,000 different directions. Simplify, because clarity doesn't always come before the action. Clarity sometimes comes through action. You don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to do everything. And you don't need to rush to become somebody new. You just need to return, right? Return to what made you feel alive. Return what gave you peace. Return to the rhythm that nourishes you, not drains you. Because your spirit wasn't built for burnout. Let me say that again. Your spirit was not built for burnout, right? That was a human-made mechanism. Your spirit was built for brilliance, for balance, for depth. And when you walk with depth, when you move with depth, when you create with depth, you don't need to run with urgency all the time and scattered. You trust your timing. You got a divine ally watching out for you. You protect your energy and you flow, you understand? So some of us may need to just slow down, not to do less in a way, but to simplify and to move with accuracy. Not because you're behind, but because you're finally aligning. Let's end today off with a reminder, an affirmation that we can just simply repeat to ourselves, right? I choose simplicity. I choose to protect my peace. I release the pressure, and I trust that what's meant for me will arrive in perfect timing. I don't need to hustle to prove my worth. I am already enough. It's kind of like how God loves you, right? God loved you before you even were formed. You understand? Before you were formed, when you were in your mother's womb, God was like, I love you. Before, right? That grace and that love was already there for yourself. Can you give that to yourself as well? I am already enough. Everything else is the icing on the cake. Of course, we realize we have so much potential and so much gifts within ourselves, and we want to explore those. But let's do it from a place of purpose and not constant pressure. Let's do it from a place of curiosity and joy and excitement, and not from a place of constant need of validation. Let's take a breath and feel it in your bones. You understand that you are enough. You were before you are. You understand all that you need to succeed is already planted within you. And now you have the tools and the remembrance to go live your life and honor your energy. Go simplify and let everything that's real rise to meet you, because that's what happens. When you create space, for the things that you desire to meet you exactly where you're at. We don't get what we want in life. We get what we believe. And when you're rushing, when you're scattered, when you're overwhelmed, what do you lack? You lack belief. What is patience? Patience is knowing that something is determined to happen in the future. A lack of patience means I'm unsure if this will work out or if this will happen. So believe, and you will know, you will understand. You understand? And you will feel at home. And you don't know in hindsight everything gonna be all right. It's a vibe thing, and we power by.